Lay the Points, episode number 6. I think it's number 6. Could be number 5. Number 6 or 5. One of those. All of those probably are the same. Again, I put the date on there, so if I'm looking like a little peaked or whatever that word is, when you look like you've been working outside in 100-degree weather, it's because I have. I tore my porch off my house. My porch on my house was pulling on my house, and I had to go. So I tore it all down today. It's a big mess out there. Good thing I got a 9-year-old to help me drag most of it to the burn pile. So we're going to keep the 2x4s, probably use them for a clubhouse. But anyways, all that good stuff that dads do and torture kids. You see behind me, you can see parts of my house that are still under renovation. That's because renovation at my house seems to never end. We're not even close to done still. But anyway, so let's get into some sports news today. Ja Morant's an absolute moron. Not that we were concerned about his intelligence before, because not really. I don't know that his intelligence was ever in question. He was just a really good, amazing basketball player. But he's also an idiot. He got caught in a video or a photo with a gun again, and they've suspended him. They're probably going to suspend him the whole year. I don't know, coming up. He's just a great talent that decided he wants to be an idiot. And it's not anything around him or anything. It's all personal. It's all personal stuff. He's just can't get out of his own way. It's terrible. Terrible for a great athlete. But another thing, got the Lakers and Nuggets start tonight. This is an amazing series. We get AD versus the Joker. All right. They've had some battles in the past. They've actually played in the playoffs recently. In the bubble, when the Lakers won, the Nuggets were the surprise to make it all to the Western Conference that year. And the Lakers kind of handed it to them. Now, that was a couple years ago, and LeBron and AD were younger. Joker wasn't quite the Joker he is now. So in this series, in this NBA series, guys, there's no doubt about it, the Nuggets are the better team. Right? The Nuggets are the more talented team. They have the better guard play. They're just the overall more talented team, but that doesn't always mean you win. Sometimes the team that wants it more wins. And that's one thing I worry about the Nuggets a little bit is they get in these games, and are they going to want it as much as LeBron? I don't know. Now, the other thing is LeBron can't go hard for multiple games in a row anymore. He just doesn't have them wheels no more. He doesn't have those legs anymore. So, again, that hurts him in a series that's probably going to go 7 games. Just a little insight on this series. The Nuggets blasted game ones of their first 2 opponents. Once was the Timberwolves and one was the Suns. They absolutely mopped the floor with them in game 1 in Denver. But so did the Lakers. The Lakers did the same. So I don't know how to quantify that. With the little bit of rest that the Lakers did get, they should be healthy going in. It all kind of depends on AD. How can AD do with Joker? Is AD going to be good against Joker? Because I think we're going to get the same thing from the Nuggets as far as efficiency. I think they're going to score between 110 and 120 basically every game. Now, the Lakers' defense is really solid, but it's been solid against 2 teams that, one team was without Ja Morant part of the time, and he was kind of the focal point, the only option on Memphis there for a while. And then the second team was kind of a revenge type game, a iconic series versus Golden State. And I feel like the Lakers kind of expended a lot of energy in that one. I still think the Nuggets make it to the finals. I think the Lakers push them 7 games, though. It just all depends on what AD we get and what LeBron James has left in the tank. The other guys are younger and they're going to be okay, but they don't match up well versus the Nuggets guys. The Nuggets guys are kind of better across the board. Again, my guy Austin Reeves plays for the Lakers, but it's the Nuggets are my team, so I'm going with them. Anyway, so that's what I got on that series. I think the Nuggets will win game one. It's 6 point spread. I don't know about that. I don't know what LeBron's bringing. A lot of times in game ones, LeBron kind of takes the day off, kind of sees what the team's doing against them, all that good stuff. I don't know what he does here. Probably does something similar. I would say LeBron kind of takes this one slower, and the Nuggets get game one. Maybe they go after game two. I don't know. It's just in this playoffs, LeBron has been different in the first round, the first game of the series. He normally he kind of takes it off, but this playoffs he hasn't. He's really went for it. So I don't know if he feels like they need to win game ones or what, but that's one of the different things that kind of goes on there. But again, as far as all that goes, it is, that's exactly where it's at. Moving forward, let's talk about a bet today. Let's talk about yesterday we won. The Baltimore guys, they scored 4 runs, which wasn't that difficult of a bet, I didn't think. I know the Angels were pitching Ohtani, but again, Ohtani struggled to get Ohtani actually gave up 4 runs himself, gave up two 2-run homers. And sometimes it's not that the pitcher is struggling. Sometimes it's that the lineups are really good. The lineups in a couple of these teams are just really, really good. So aces tend to have trickier outings, I'll call it. And today we're going to kind of go to one of those. And I'm gonna give you guys a plus 135 play. I actually didn't put this out in my write-up because I've just now come around to liking it. And it's somewhat of a stretch, but not really. We got Tampa Bay going to the Mets. Okay, the Mets are pitching Verlander. Now, this is Verlander's, I think, third start. He's 1-1. He hasn't been sharp. It hasn't been sharp. And Tampa Bay absolutely can hit the ball. They are the highest scoring team in Major League Baseball. And you're getting them at plus 135. I know it's on the road, and I know they're pitching Jalen Beeks. But Beeks will have a short leash here, I think. And I just don't trust the Mets to manufacture a ton of runs. They haven't done it for the most part of the first part of this year. They really haven't just generated a ton of runs. I actually think Tampa wins this game behind Beeks and probably a couple other guys, but mostly that I think Tampa's going to put up 6 or 7 runs themselves, and I think 4 of them will be on Verlander. I don't think Verlander scares any of these guys. I don't think, and he's still kind of getting back from injury, and he hasn't been sharp. And this is only his third game on the pitch clock. I don't know. I just don't think Tampa Bay getting 135 plus 135 is something I can pass up. It seems like that's too big of an advantage, too big of a plus. I got to have at least a play on it. And that's where I'm at today, guys. I'm going to take Tampa Bay on the money line plus 135. And believe it or not, the plus 1.5 on Tampa Bay at 145 is actually a good play, too. I mean, you're getting 1.5 runs and not even 150 juice. That's actually a really good play as well. I don't know. I don't trust the Mets to put up enough runs. Even if Verlander throws 6 shutout innings, I still think Tampa Bay in the 7th, 8th, and 9th can manufacture 6 runs against the bullpen. Tampa Bay just scores runs. They hit the ball a lot. They put the ball in play a lot. They steal a lot of bases. They put a lot of pressure on the pitchers to have to make pitches, to have to get out of situations. And that usually causes these pitchers to make a mistake. And then Tampa Bay pops it over the fence on you. I don't know. And it's a 6 o'clock start. I just feel like this is a good spot to be on the Rays at plus money. This kind of plus money too. Getting the best team in baseball at plus 135 is automatic for me right there. The best team in baseball, the team that has the most wins, that's been the hottest, that's been the best since day one of the baseball season, you're getting them at plus 135. No matter what the statistics of the starting pitchers are here, I feel like this is a spot where you got to take that. If you pass this up, if you pass that 135 up, you may never get it again with the Rays. There may never be another game where you're getting, a third extra return on your money to take the best team in baseball. I just don't think this comes along very much. So this is kind of like the Rays' worst starter or worst sometimes starter versus the Mets all their starters have been weak this year, Scherzer and Verlander included. None of them have been great. So I just don't see it. I don't see the Mets. So if the Mets score 5 runs, they lose in this game, I think. I think if the Mets score 5, they still lose. So um, that's kind of where I'm at on this. I just think the Mets don't put up enough runs to make this a scary move at 135. And it's the value, guys. It's the absolute value. Um, that's where it's at. It's you're getting the one third, and that's what makes it worth your time. I actually bet Tampa Bay plus 1.5 in a parlay earlier, but I didn't take the money line just because I had to do a little more research on Verlander and stuff. I did it early in the morning. Guys, I'm not afraid of this one. I actually think this is a winner. I think you're getting that little bonus plus. I don't. I'm not. I'm. This doesn't. How should I put it? It doesn't give me pause to jump on the Rays here. That doesn't mean it'll win. It still could lose, but I like it a lot. I like it enough that I'm playing it. I just played it. I may play it again. It just depends on if I decide to get involved in the basketball game. If I don't get involved in the basketball game, I'll probably play the plus 1.5 and the money line again. Just because if this wins, I want to get them, extra third added in as many times as I can. So, again, I don't think we're going to see this again. I don't think we're going to see Tampa Bay getting 135 again this season, most likely, unless they just fall off the face of the earth there. I don't think we'll see it. So take our shot here, try to get it through today. And again, baseball is unlike other sports. The favorite isn't exactly the same type of favorite as other sports. When you're the favorite in baseball, it's still real iffy. And you could go the first 5 on Tampa too. The first 5 at plus 0.5. Let me look at that real quick. I actually got it pulled up on my computer that's behind my phone. Let's look at that first 5. Oh, you're getting plus 0.5 for the first 5 at 105. And you can bet the first 5 at 135 as well. That plus 0.5 at minus 105 for the first 5 innings, that's a solid play too. I know you're facing Verlander there, and that's tricky. But if it goes 2-2, if it's 2-2, then in the 5th you win. I mean, just some likely situations to look at there. Again, when we're betting these plus monies, the idea behind betting plus money stuff is you don't have to get but 50% of them right? You only have to be 50% correct to make money. And if you're betting big plus monies, you have to be even less correct, which is also nice. But there's a multitude of games today that that there's either a home team that's an underdog versus a good team, or there's really interesting road teams. Like here, let me scroll down here. So the Cubs pitching Justin Steele versus Houston in Houston. Now, Justin Steele hasn't lost yet. He hasn't had a loss on his record yet. And Javier's been okay for Houston this year. But you can get plus 1.5 at 150, which is a good play. Or you can get Cubs at plus 145. I mean, the Houston hasn't been any better than the Cubs have this year. And Justin Steele's been great. So, I don't know. That's an interesting one. Maybe play the first 5 innings because you're going to get the plus 0.5. But there's just a lot of interesting ones today. I feel like today has a group of games that is a little different. It's a little different than everything else. Not so common. But anyway, that's where I'm at today. I like the Tampa side, so I'm riding with Tampa side at plus 135. I'm going to cut this short right here, guys. Thank you for your time listening to me. You guys want to see? Do you guys want to see my porch that I knocked down? I can take you out there and let you see it real quick if you want to see it. Someone tell me in the chat if you want to see it. It's craziness. It was scary. somewhat scary because I was having to get under it and cut it loose and then get out of the way. I had to cut it out in pieces. It's tricky, very tricky. Very, you're messing with your house. You could have tore a chunk out of my house or something. Just a very unusual situation to be in. I have an older house, but I'm remodeling it. So half of it's new and half of it's still old. Um, but yeah, it's interesting spot to be in. So you guys let me know if you want to see that real quick. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to get out of here, go pick up my heathens. I got my little heathens I gotta go grab. They're gonna love the destruction. I'm gonna make them help me get the 2x4s loose. Hello, all is well, 714. I'm gonna make them get the 2x4s loose with me so we can use them for a playhouse or something. But yeah, I just that Tampa side there, man, it's just a good bet. I may get on that .5 and this plus. I'm already on the plus 1.5, so I may get on some other parts of that. Um, but there's just a lot of interesting ones today as far as getting a quality starter in a spot where you're not either laying a lot of juice or you're getting plus money. Just a lot of interesting spots. But anyways, guys, I got to get out of here. Thank you for your time. You guys have a great day. This is Jacob from Wenjamin This.